And under our spotlight is Nollywood filmmaker Best Okoduwa and his new movie called Withered.
Nollywood filmmaker Best Okoduwa is channeling his over 8 years' worth of experience in Nollywood into new titles that focus on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
Please. Whatever it is that touches you, this boy touches me. Whatever evil spirit that affects you, affects me.
I had an experience that actually triggered a passion. And that was what triggered my passion for humanity, for development. And I said to myself, my contribution to achieving or to fostering this goal by the United Nations is to ensure that every film I make would actually budget towards supporting the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, it is not enough to make a good film. For me, it is not enough. I actually find satisfaction only when my film is good enough for commercial purposes and at the same time it has enough value to impact 1 or 2 persons. So I treat them issue after issue. So it's one issue at a time, depending on my inspiration at the time or what is actually affecting the immediate young people around me at the time.
He says actors and filmmakers are pivotal in leading change, impacting life, and addressing societal ills.
But fortunately, the orchid is regenerative once that unfavorable situation is corrected.
A lot of people do not understand the power that film wields. Picture this.
Yes.
If a pastor or an imam or a teacher says to a 21st century young adult, sit down there, educated or not educated, literate or illiterate, they may question it to a degree. Most often than not, they would even not obey that instruction. Now, I would like to make use of the word maybe fan. A Genevieve fan is listening to a Genevieve and a Genevieve says, this is how you do this. It is an automatic influence because of the love that such a young person has for this particular figure, they go right ahead to do it. Now, one of the ways to also buttress this is, do you want to backdate to so many trends in recent times, from the Russia's trend that actually emanated from the film, from the Geraraya trend, and even the most recent ones. Yeah, these were actually trends that emanated from a film. Now, why can't we actually make use of that advantage? Understanding the influence of films now. A film can actually begin a culture. A film can start a trend. Why not use this same film to actually influence positive change?
His new movie, Withered, chronicles the story of an incestuous man who violated his own underage daughter.
He is make too fat. That is a convenient lie. Try something else.
If you take a moment to look at the rising data on incest in Africa, you'll be both appalled and disappointed and every ill feeling you can feel, because it is rising geometrically. Why is that happening? Nobody is having that conversation. Nobody is ready to have that conversation. A father taking advantage of the child. In fact, in certain climes in Africa, you don't even start the conversation. They hush you immediately. And that is why this thing is gaining prominence. You get. And I said to myself, well, whether or not we're ready for this conversation, this is a conversation I want to begin. Yeah. And maybe the world needs to know, Africans need to know that this is a problem that we need to look at, you know. So, Withered is a story that actually spotlights the growing rate of incest and rape in Africa.
Anyone like myself would have to go in there.
Withered will be available on various streaming platforms later this year.
Is it that thing they say that they're pressing somebody?
I think it might be that shrine behind our house in the village.
Some people